Wesley Hunt from the great state of Texas. This is our second Texan on the show. Wesley, Mr. Hunt, you write on FoxNews.com, and I'm going to quote this: San Francisco's plan for reparations will not correct the wrongs of history. In fact, it will make things worse. This is, I wanted to have you on. I'm so glad you're available today. The history is great, but it's very brave of you to say what you said. And at the end of this piece, I want to say, it's a destructive Marxist proposal that will set precedent for nationwide wealth redistribution based on race. It's counter to every principle our society is founded on, and if implemented, may be the first step to the very destruction of our society. It's tough stuff. I agree, but tell us more about your piece and what motivated you to write this piece.
Well, of course. Well, this program is not going to be funded by pennies from heaven. What you're essentially going to do is you're going to take $600,000 per family because of the color of their skin, and you're going to redistribute that wealth and then give it to another family because of the color of their skin. And that is Marxism, that is socialism. It is wrong. It is absolutely antithetical to what our founding fathers wanted from us. And I'm the great-great-grandson of a slave. Now, I am here because I'm a West Point graduate, because I earned multiple master's degrees from an Ivy League school, because I served my country. My dad's a retired colonel. My sister went to West Point. My brother went to West Point. And I don't want to take anybody else's money to fund my life when I can earn it myself in this country. And what liberals want to do oftentimes is they want to say, hey, I want to give you something. I want to give you this. Hey, young black family, let me put my arm around you and take from somebody else and give it to you and then create a victim. And I wrote this piece because I reject that. And I want to empower the black community and help us realize that we live in the greatest country in the world. We don't want your reparations. We can earn it ourselves.
Well, sir, you know, so many points that I agree with, but I don't know where the city of San Francisco thinks it's going to get $250 billion. That's a joke right there. But your point about victimhood, and your other point is that, look, slaves own slaves. I mean, that may be an unpleasant fact, but that's the reality of part of the slavery issue. The other thing, Congressman Hunt, is, you know, California was never a slave state. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but Cal was always a Cal was always a free state, was it not?
That's correct. And the truth of the matter is this: the original slaves in Africa were sold to the West. And we need to keep in mind that slavery is something that's been a cultural issue in every major civilization since the inception of man. This is kind of what the original sin is for humanity. But we are a country that got through it in just a handful of generations. And what I want to talk about is the progress. I don't want to talk about the past as much as I want to say, you know what? We've done a lot of good things over here over the course of the past few generations. And I want to continue to build on that. And I don't want to further divide this country by saying some person is a victim today because of what their great-great-grandparents did in yesteryear. Right now, we live in a meritocracy. Let's celebrate that. And I don't want the left to destroy this country from within.
Well, of course, yes, sir. I mean, slavery is an evil, 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 evil institution, without any question. But you do state in the piece, one way to deal with it, instead of victimhood, as you put it, is to rebuild the American family, a father, a mother helping their kids. Can you talk a little bit about that? You know, I've given speeches about that. Jason Riley's a friend of mine. Bill Bennett's been on this show talking about that. I mean, to me, a solid nuclear family is one way to combat all these evils.
I talk about my family all the time. I talk about the success of my brother and my sister and I all the time. And that's because we had a mother and a father that were God-fearing Americans that instilled in us a sense of service and made sure that we understood that we're standing on the backs of giants. It is very important for us to continue to find ways to serve and build on this country. And by the way, my parents and I, my family, we've been black for a very long time. Having a two-parent household has nothing to do with race. I guarantee you, when you have those family values, if you're white, Hispanic, Asian, you name it, it doesn't matter. It increases the likelihood of your children being successful in the future when you have that very strong nuclear family, and the left is trying to destroy that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well said, sir. Congressman Wesley Hunt, we appreciate your time. Hope you come back some more.